Peace, everybody. This is Mosiah coming to you with another video. I want to talk about a few things. I want to start off first by congratulating all the secure parties who've come to us, all of the people who purchased from us. I want to tell you thank you. All the people who are considering purchasing from us, I want to tell you thank you as well in advance. There's a lot to be talked about. There's a lot to discuss. I want to stay organized, and I want to go over a few important items. First and foremost is how to do business with us. Do not come to us looking for us to help you clean up in aisle 12. If you screwed something up and you did something dumb, we don't put out fires. We're not firemen. We're not EMTs. We don't run a 911 line. You can't come to us looking for us to put out your fires. But you can come to us to learn the concepts on how you yourself can put out those fires. The most important thing for us right now is to show you this information. I'd rather teach you how to fish than to give you a fish. So that means that you're going to have to be willing to learn how to handle your situations effectively. You purchase from us, you become a client, then you are able and eligible for consultation with us in private. If you're not a client, you are not eligible for consultation, okay? You can send us a message on our contact form. Please be mindful not to send us any legal or tax questions or statements, and at the same time respect our policies and procedures to avoid being blocked. Tonight I want to talk about collateral and how when you become a secure party creditor through us, by us filing your UCC1 financing statement, we increase your net worth by $100 million. I'll repeat that. We increase your net worth of your straw man as well as your estate by $100 million. That it gives you the ability to create new credit and discharge old debt. A lot of people come to us with the discharge of debt as their primary motive and their modus operandi. That's ridiculous. You can't get a debt unless you created the credit first. What about the credit you created way back then? How did you do that? It's time to do that again, but it's time to do that in bulk. It's time to do that in large numbers. So understand what I'm telling you. If you stand by for a second. Create your credit in bulk. Okay, you make sure you create your credit in bulk. That way you can play their game on the monopoly board and wipe out those debts accordingly while maintaining a healthy credit score of whatever entity you're operating under, whether it be the straw man, a trust, a LLC, a 501c3 or corporation, whatever it is. Keep the credit score of that entity healthy so that you can gain access to more credit and you can create more credit. But let's talk specifically about collateral and how the UCC1 that we file for you, along with the bond that we put on deposit with the Treasury, increases your net worth by $100 million. Whenever you go to obtain a loan, they want what's called a PFS, a personal financial statement, a PFS, okay? On that personal financial statement, it's going to outline all of your assets minus all of your liabilities, giving you at the bottom your total net worth. The UCC1 that we file for you goes on the asset column. It goes underneath investment accounts. You can put it under investment accounts, or you can put it under other. You can say trust. Whatever it is that you decide to put there, put 100 million. What's going to happen is, whenever you go for loans, they want you to have a personal financial statement because they want to know what your net worth is. And the way that you determine your net worth is by providing a personal financial statement. It's going to outline the assets minus all of the liabilities, giving you the net worth and giving the lender a snapshot of your net worth. Most people think, okay, you got to have a good credit score in order to obtain credit. This is true for some of the more conventional methods, especially the online applications for credit cards and personal lines of credit and loans and stuff like that. But if you want to obtain $10 million, for example, in hard money, Hard money is very good money because it's very fast money. It might be very expensive, but you don't care because you know you have at your disposal 100 million in assets. So you'll be good with 10 million and whatever the cost of that 10 million is. With that being said, you now provide them with a personal financial statement that outlines your net worth. You're applying for a loan of $10 million. You're going after hard money. You know it's fast. You can usually close in 7 to 14 days. You're going to take that money and then you're going to create velocity with that new credit. The velocity that you're going to create with that new credit is going to wipe out the cost of that credit. I'll repeat that. Going to create with the credit that you've created is going to create more credit for you to utilize to wipe out the first set of credits you created. Okay? You're creating velocity. How do you create velocity? You can purchase whole life insurance. You can put your money in the crypto market on the blockchain. Blockchain is very stable right now. It was volatile at one point, but right now it's stable and it's moving forward. Bitcoin is increasing. Ethereum is increasing as well. You can purchase real estate. You can purchase Airbnbs. You can start a business. You can purchase vehicles and put them on some of the rental sites. Create velocity with the credit that you create. But now let's go back to the credit that we create, because a lot of people seem to have a difficult time with that. Remember when I told you about the loan applications for hard money or any loan? They want to know what your personal net worth is as the personal guarantor. And as the personal guarantor, you're going to sign your name the right way regardless. Okay? So you know you're going to be able to walk away from any contract that you sign. At the same time, the credit that you're creating by way of this particular loan contract, whether it be a mortgage for some real property, you're doing it, and again, go after hard money or use the private lender list that we have available in the bookstore as well. You're going after a hard money and quick money. Why? Because you need that money very quickly so that you can begin to create that velocity very quickly. A lot of people are so worried about debt discharge that I asked them a question. Well, do you know how to go after new money? Do you know how to create credit? And they'll tell me, Mosiah, I do, but how am I going to pay it back? You see that? They're fearful. Before they even get the money, they're fearful about how they're going to pay it back. This is why you have to have a purpose before you go after the money. Why would you go after the money and you don't have a purpose? That's greed. That's the very definition of greed. You don't have a purpose for the money, but you want the money. You have no use for the money, but you want the money. All right, so the appropriate answer is, okay, Mosiah, I want to wipe out all the previous debts. We know that's the first thing on your mind. Okay, great, got that done. Now, how are you going to create velocity with that credit so that you can create additional credit that's going to wipe out that first credit and give you that first credit free and clear? Now you're sitting heavy on 10 million in Federal Reserve notes or money of account if it's sitting in account via a loan or hard money. If it's in an account, it is money of account. If it is cash, it is cash. It is Federal Reserve notes. But you're not going to have $10 million in Federal Reserve notes walking around with it, right? That's a hell of a bag. You'll get robbed. Big time. But the goal here is to focus on the money of account. And then when we have the money of account, the goal is to create velocity by creating other accounts that create credit and continuing to move forward. But there's a lot of people that's stuck on stupid in this process. They're so caught up into the fact that they just now found out about what's going on in the world. But yeah, you're a little late. And there's a lot of other things that are about to happen. I'm going to go into that in a little bit as well. There's some really dangerous things that are about to happen, and you have to be aware of how to protect yourself. And being a secure party creditor private banker is the primary way, because the way we file for you is forever. So the sky can fall, another pandemic can happen, another plandemic can happen. You will be protected. They can push all kinds of informed consent forms in your face, all kinds of contracts in your face, all kinds of loan applications and agreements in your face. You know how to sign your name the right way forever. If that's not enough power for you to have in your pen, I don't know what is. There's people that come to this process looking for more than that. They're looking for more than freedom. You're greedy. You're going after avarice. What does avarice mean? Excessive wealth and gain, the desire for excessive wealth and gain, but you have no purpose for what to do with the money. Now, if you have a purpose, I take my hat off to you. You have a plan, that's how you move. Your plan better have a plan. It's called a plan B. plan C, whatever it is, have a plan. Now let's go back toward the collateral. Remember what I told you. Your UCC1 increases your net worth by $100 million. But now, what if you purchase my international promissory note drafting system? On that very same loan application, they have it in the bottom where you list all of your assets. It has a field called notes payable. That's where you would enter those notes payable. So now, what if you purchase the promissory note drafting system and you drafted a note to your wife, your husband, to your wife? Okay, your wife has to pay you, the husband, based on the promissory note, and vice versa. You can do it where your wife does a note and you have to pay her. So now, for example, let's start with you. Your wife has to pay you on your note. So on your application, your notes payable would be whatever that amount is that your wife owes you on that note. And vice versa, whatever amount you owe your wife on her note goes on her application. But that amount, along with the UCC1, is increasing your net worth dramatically. So you got your UCC1 in one field at $100 million. You're creating notes with the international promissory note system. And you got a $10 million note to wifey. Wifey's got a $10 million note to you. Now you've just increased your net worth by 10 million. So now it's a total of 110 million minus any obligations, credit, mortgage payment, rent payment, car notes, whatever, all those debts that you wish to discharge. Those get listed in your liability section. So now when we get to the bottom, we look at the total net worth. You're sitting at, okay, you take away all your debts, you're sitting at 109 million and change as your net worth. Now you need 10 million. Now let's say we talk collateral. So Mr. Banker, you've already got my application and I'm willing to also provide you with additional security via UCC3 assignment and 10 million in credit based on my $100 million bond. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that $100 million bond. It's a pizza pie. I'm going to take a slice. It's going to be a $10 million slice. And I'm going to assign that over to the bank as additional security for the loan to ensure that the loan will be paid back in full, no problem. I'm a banker. I talk to bankers with the language of banking. The main language of banking that perks up bankers' ears is collateral. Remember, the bankers are assets, whether they be in accounts or physical property, gold, jewelry, whatever it is, cars, homes, whatever it is, even people. So our goal is to overstand that positioning and say, okay, well, I have $100 million in collateral. I can assign 10 million in additional collateral to securitize this particular loan in the event that I default. I'm not going to default because I have a purpose, and my purpose has a plan B. So the goal is success and velocity with the credit that we create going forward. But the language of banking must be understood, and you must be able to make yourself aware of what these bankers expect on these loan applications. If you have a project that you're willing to do and it's a startup, make sure you got some pro forma numbers, some projections. Make sure you have a business plan. ChatGPT can spit you out a business plan in 30 seconds. ChatGPT, give me a SBA, Small Business Administration compliant business plan for a fitness facility that's 10,000 square feet in the middle of Miami Beach. Give it all the other intricate details that you want and watch ChatGPT spit out that business plan. You copy and you paste it into Word, you get your formatting going, you spit it out, you got your business plan, you save it as a PDF. Oh, also ChatGPT, do me a favor and spit me out some pro forma projections based on the current market rates for gym memberships in Miami Beach for the next 5 years. Stand by. But we're utilizing ChatGPT to do all the heavy lifting for us now. And now that we have that done, ChatGPT, do me a favor and spit me out a personal financial statement listing my UCC1 financial statement at $100 million in the asset column. I got 5 notes outstanding, so list that as well. Those are $10 million notes each. That's another $50 million. So that's going to be $150 million as your asset net worth. I'm sorry, your assets minus any liabilities, giving you your total net worth down at the bottom. Now you've got all these documents together. You know exactly what the lenders want. If you're going to go after money, know what the lenders look for. Go to their website. Find out they have no doc loans. No doc loans are based on just credit and guarantee and saying I'll pay it back. Promise to pay. Okay? Then you have the more intricate, bigger loans, $10 million and more that you really want to go after. Let's see who's out there who's really about it. If you think Mosiah is not about it, you got another thing coming. I'm sitting in one of my properties right now, and I have 15 of them in this building. but I don't flex to show you, to try and impress you. My goal in telling you is to let you know that this is what you should be doing and this is how you should be moving. There are other asset classes that you can get into that are very, very, very strong. Those include self-storage facilities, Airbnb. Get in an area where there's a lot of traffic and travel, and set up your Airbnb so that you stay booked. But you're creating velocity. So if I'm going after 10 million in credit, I have a plan. As a matter of fact, I have 5 plans. And ChatGPT did them all. Spit out all the numbers for them as well. All the Excel spreadsheets as well. No more heavy lifting. Make your dreams come to fruition, but you have to also understand banking. And now that you're a secure party creditor, you say to yourself, okay, I'm a secure party creditor. How do I create velocity with this particular credit that Mosiah created for me? But a lot of people come to the table with that as their motivation, and then they lie to me and tell me that they're coming to the table for freedom. Okay? I'll know how serious you are based on how you move after you become a secure party. Because if you're about freedom, yeah, we will take care of that for you. If you're about collateral and creating credit, we'll take care of that with your UCC1. Now you get out there, stand by, you'll get out there and you fill out those applications and you go after those loans. You develop those plans and you bring them to fruition. Let's see you really be about it. Stand by. It's summertime all over the world. My favorite time of the year, especially when it comes to sunset. Looks like we got a lot of cloud cover, but that sky was beautiful earlier. And I wish everyone well, but I also wish that everyone would seriously wake up to the point where they understand banking and get into banking and not be afraid to get into banking. You don't need perfect credit. However, it helps. Okay? Decent credit helps. Okay? Because what it does is it shows the lender and the underwriters that you're financially responsible and yet you can handle a variety of different products, financial products. They want to see if you can handle credit cards, mortgages, personal loans, car loans. They want to see if you can handle those things. And if your score is high, then they really realize, they say, okay, good, this person is worthy of lending. This person is credit worthy in their fictitious credit system. We have to play the game. Play a fool to catch a fool. Now, if I get that $10 million and I say, okay, later on I want to discharge it with my Treasury, my UCC contract trust that I have set up with the Treasury, I can do so. I can do so. Now, let me also inject this. If you ever send something off to the government and you do it the right way, and you know you're doing it the right way, or you do it the way that I tell you, because I'm definitely going to tell you to do it the right way. I'm not going to mislead anybody. And you don't hear from them for whatever reason, they're committing a tort against you. You also have to understand the private administrative procedure utilizing Standard Form 95. You send something off to the Treasury. Treasury is a government agency. IRS is a government agency. Okay? It might be the private debt collection arm of the Treasury, but they still have OMB forms. With that being said, Standard Form 95 is an OMB form, Office of Management and Budget. You have the ability to fill out that form and send it to the exact same place where you sent off your particular correspondence or negotiable instrument. Most likely it's a bill of exchange. You're doing Standard Form 95. What laws are you putting down that they're violating? Title 18, 241, Conspiracy Against Rights. Title 18, 242, Deprivation of Rights under color of law. I sent you something and you didn't even respond. I sent it off to you, certified mail return receipt, to make sure that it's delivered. I got the green card back. I know it was delivered. You didn't respond to me. You didn't tell me that what I did was wrong, or you didn't tell me that that you don't handle this particular situation, or you didn't even adjust any account. You're committing a tort against a private man, and I followed your procedure. Once I follow your procedure, the ball's in your court. You don't do what you're supposed to do. You're committing a tort against a private man, because I'm the administrator executor of this estate. And only I can push that pin. So now I'm going to push the pin with Standard Form 95, send it off to the exact same place, and let them handle it from that point forward. Most likely they'll take care of the account. They'll be late. They'll say they will respond. You will get some letter of correspondence apologizing for any delays. but it will get taken care of because they know that you know the power of standard form 95, you know the power of your pen, you know the power of tort. Okay, now let's go back toward credit, private banking. Most important thing you need to understand is how to communicate with bankers. Always do your business over the phone before you go down there in person. Don't make yourself look like a fool. Don't waste your time. Don't go down there and get discriminated against. Don't go down there and have them try and frame you and commit conspiracy and make it seem like you're doing something illegal because you're not. Save yourself all that headache by communicating over the phone. Can I speak to the branch manager? Hi, how are you? My name is Mosiah. I'm a private banker. I have accounts with you, and make sure you have accounts with them. Don't go to a bank and you don't have any accounts with them. Make sure you have at least 90 days seasoned accounts or more. And now that I have these accounts, yes, I have accounts with you, good. Now you tell them that you have accounts with them because you want them to be able to treat you with respect. And the only way that they're going to do that is if you're a customer. Now, if you're in credit union, you're a member. So you know me, I always tell people to go with credit unions. I'm not going to go off on any particular credit union because they're not paying me. But credit unions, you're a member, banks, you're a customer. So now that you're talking to the branch manager at either the credit union or the bank, introduce yourself as a private banker. I also do negotiable instruments, and I need to have my signature guaranteed. So I'm going to need access to the signature guarantee medallion stamp. Who do I talk to obtain that? That would be me? Okay, hi, me. How are you? My name is Mosiah. I'm a private banker. Excellent. So I appreciate that. And also, I'd also like to talk to your loan officer about your financial products and also go over how I can securitize and provide additional collateral for security against these instruments to ensure that your loans never fall into default. At the same time, I have a business plan for several ventures that I'm working on here in the community, and I'd like for your bank to be a part of this. I'd like for your bank to be a part of it. Don't go in thinking that you are their customer. You want to have the attitude that they're going to be working for you as your banker. Your mindset shift. Very important. Then, like I said, we talked about collateral. We talked about how to do business with us. Please don't come to us with any angles. I don't do a lot of conferences and participate in a lot of conferences because I see that there are elements in those conferences that are always jealous and envious, and they'll never ever want to see people get ahead. There's more anti-blackness taking place in the black community than there is from the white community toward the black community. Because you're around so many black people all the time and you're not around a lot of diverse people, you're going to hate on whoever you're around. You're going to be envious and jealous of whoever you're around. And that's what I don't like to participate in. So again, for me, it's about giving people the information. I had somebody call me the other day, and it was a cool compliment. You know, he said, Mosiah, the people out here see you as the SPC God. We see you, Yusufel, as Jesus Christ. I said, that's a cool compliment, but I see both of us, me and Yusufel. Yusufel is a God and Jesus Christ. He's all of that in one. He's a messenger and he's a creator. All right, and that's what I am. I'm a creator and a messenger. I'm never a destroyer. So that's why I don't participate in those conferences, because I feel like there are elements in those conferences that are set there to destroy. Okay? And that's why. At the same time, these platforms that are available like YouTube and Instagram, they're shadow banning. You see what they're doing. They're flipping my videos upside down, backwards, so that you can't read the text. So I have to resort to these particular methods, which I don't have a problem with, because I actually like this teaching style. There's a lot of people out there that learn by listening. So it's more effective than people who see something on a screen who don't remember 80% of what they just covered. But it also helps you to develop your listening skills. So it's important to become a really good listener so that you can effectively learn and you can absorb it. It embeds itself into your subconscious. You'll probably have dreams about it when you go to sleep at night, or you'll probably remember it even better when you wake up first thing in the morning. Either way, this listening style / teaching style is more effective for me. And that's why I don't participate in some of those events that you see. There are multiple reasons, obviously, but they're more geared toward remaining productive and avoiding negativity so that I don't fall into a destructive environment or destructive energy around people who don't mean you well, because I'm a very good reader of energy. I can look at someone, I can look at your facial expressions, your body language, and I could damn near read your mind. It's dangerous. One of my wives, she was telling me, she was like, babe, you are really good at that. And I'm usually right. I don't go out misjudging people based on the way people look, but you get a lot of that as well. People that will be down, that whole concept of don't judge a book by its cover, they don't even hear about it because there are no books. They got phones. They got smartphones. Nothing worse than a smartphone in the hand of a stupid person. But you have these people out there who are judging you just based on the way you look, based on the way somebody else looks. So with that was another reason why I don't go out to these conferences, because then it becomes a fashion show and you want to dress a certain way to impress and exude a particular image and aura, and then you have to maintain that. Listen. You know, I've been around, and I know what's going on from multiple aspects. Just like my boy Yusuf, Yusuf El, the way he drops his science, he's going over multiple things, multiple aspects. But my goal is to make sure that I'm on the ground and I give you practicality. There's a lot of information, there's a lot of concepts, there's a lot of laws, there's a lot of doctrine, there's a lot of treaties, there's a lot of things that have happened in the past, erasure, there's a lot of censor of history. I don't need to go into all of that. You guys know what the fuck is going on from that standpoint. You want to know what's going on from being a private banker standpoint, and that's my position. I'm on the chessboard, and that's my position. The game is for those of you who are thinking that you can come to this process and just start jumping over shit and saying, king me, it's not going to happen. You better be ready to create an opening, position yourself on the board, develop a strategy, participate, create action plans. When shit goes wrong, have a backup plan, and win the game. But with that being said, it comes with developing the knowledge base behind banking. And it's not difficult. For all of those out there that are doing credit repair and helping people gain access to business funding, yeah, go deeper now. Start talking to your clients about personal financial statements and how to go after big numbers and how to collateralize and securitize those loans by pledging additional security on UCC3 assignments. Private banking is where it's at, and it's going to be the future. And again, what I see happening in the future, you got fucked up Bill Gates. He's out there just buying up farmland and fucking with the food because they're all about population control with the vaccines and a whole bunch of shit. World Health Organization is full of shit. You got a lot of people out there that are truly trying to kill people. Understand that if you got that jab, they can inject nanobots. Those nanobots can create clots. Myocarditis is a very real fucking thing. It's right there on the CDC's website. So I don't want to hear nobody talking no shit about me putting out false information. Myocarditis is right there on the CDC's website. Now they're going to downplay it because they don't want people to panic and realize that the government is doing some dumb shit, some fucked up shit, trying to kill people. You can't have a 18-year-old NBA hopeful son of a great drop from a fucking heart attack. And that young man just happened to have had the jab. Same young man that collapsed on the football field. I believe the Buffalo Bill. Or no, the New York Giant, whoever he was. Either way, learn what's going on, understand what's going on, position yourself. You say to yourself, well, damn, should we just move off grid? Yeah, I recommend that we start developing farms on our roofs, on the rooftops, especially in Florida. But at the same time, I was on the beach the other day, and there was a jet that came right out of the Atlantic Ocean, right across Miami Beach, with a long white trail coming out of it, and he just kept fucking going. And that trail did not dissipate. That trail did not dissipate. Now, if it was just simple jet exhaust, it would have evaporated, dissipated, you wouldn't see it no more. That shit stayed in the sky. That fucking streak just started getting wider and wider. So I'm not going to double click on too much of what it is, but you got so much shit to be concerned about. That they're spraying shit in the sky, they're fucking with the weather, controlling with the weather, creating beef overseas, potential war with China, vaccines, all kinds of stupid shit here on the ground, racism, police brutality, the whole fiasco with LGBTQ and indoctrinating our fucking children with drag queenism. I don't have nothing against the LGBTQ, so not there one of you motherfuckers better trip. What I do have a problem with is you motherfuckers out there being vicious victims, doing dirt, and then when somebody pulls your fucking card, you're going to try to play victim and use the system against them. Also, the men All the men out there that are on child support, read Title 4D of the Social Security Act, overstand that, and get ready to position yourself to get rid of fucking child support, because it's totally doable. If everything is contract, you put them in a position to pay you. That is the primary and golden and the cardinal rule of being a private banker. Always put them in a position to pay you. They got a contract that they're trying to enforce on you. Invoke your contract and put them in a position to pay you. Watch their contract get wiped out. Watch they come to the table and say, you know what, we fucked up, we made a mistake. And once they do that, I'm going to smack them with Standard Form 95. So I'm going back and I was talking about the social ills and what's going on. There's another pandemic coming. Get ready. Remember what happened with the first one, how shit was locked down, motherfuckers was wearing masks, couldn't go nowhere, neighbors was telling on people, people were losing their jobs, teachers were getting fired because they didn't get the vaccine. Now they're reversing all that shit. Don't believe the hype. It's a sequel. It's coming. And you know who's behind it. Little nerdy motherfucker, Bill Gates. How is that even possible? But it is totally possible when you look at all these bullshit ass Hollywood movies where they show you the evil genius. Haha. The evil genius. Check that out. Who tried to take over and destroy the world. Punk motherfucker. All these teachers. Shout out to all the teachers out there. All the administrators, all of the deans, all of the people who had families working for New York City Board of Education who had to leave their job because they didn't want to take the jab. They gave them a fucking ultimatum. Get your Standard Form 95 ready. I'm telling you. Learn the private administrative procedure. Always put them in a position to pay you. They come at you with these informed consent form. A consent form is a contract. On that form, you sign that form, you're giving them, not only are you giving up all your rights, but you give them the right to do whatever. You give them the right while giving up your rights. Who the fuck does that? You know, Mosiah, I sign my name the right way everywhere I go. They ask me about it, I educate them there, right there on the spot. Once they hear me speak about it, they say, you know what, how do I do that? I've had officers. I've had people in the post office. These are the people that work directly for the federal government. Now remember this, I'm going to close with this because I want you to understand Standard Form 95 in your private administrative procedure. Every single government, every single county, every single state, they're all getting funds from the federal government. What does that mean? That means the federal government is liable for their actions. I'll repeat that. The federal government is liable for their actions. So, and trust me, all the people that are in jail, they're getting federal funding for that as well. All the cops, they're getting federal funding for all the fucking body cams and all the other additional equipment, all that heavy artillery and those fucking tanks and shit. Who the fuck needs a tank in an urban environment? Okay, so they got it from the federal government. The federal government will be liable. Stand by. The federal government will be liable. Standard Form 95. Now, what they have with their tort claims process, each state has their own tort claim process, and they have a cap at how much money they'd be willing to give up. Florida is like $200,000 per incident. So if the government fucks with you and does some dumb shit, their cap is $200,000. If they feel like, okay, well, this person might sue us and get a lot more, they may go higher and try to settle as well. New York City does that a lot. They settle with people, but they have their caps. And these processes are very simple to follow, but people go to attorneys because they're fucking lazy. But they'll learn how to play a PS5 game, but they won't learn how to get off of child support. Either way, I'm not judging anybody. I got too many important things happening right now. Again, learn collateral, learn the language of banking, understand your position with your UCC1, understanding how to create a personal financial statement, making sure that you understand what's happening in this world and what's about to happen and stay on point. Learn how to do business with us. Don't come to me sideways. Don't come to me with no angles. Don't try to come to me to get over. It's not going to happen. I've been around too long. I grew up in the hood, but I also was very smart in school. I used to get hated on for being smart. Fast forward to 2023, a lot of those people that were hating on me are coming to me to have me do their documents. The way the world moves is very strange. Karma moves in the strangest light. Like I said, a lot of people come to me, and I really appreciate you having your confidence in us. We want to maintain a professional image. We want to maintain integrity. We want people to hear the actual voice behind the service. But we're no fools, and we won't be taken advantage of, and we won't be entrapped. If you're out there doing dirt, and you're committing crimes, and you come to me and you tell me some dumb shit, that shit entraps me, I'm going to put you on Front Street, and I'm going to put you on blast. And if anybody come asking, I'm going to give them whatever the fuck they need, because you tried to blow up my entire operation with your one simple little stupid mistake. I'm a peaceful man, but I'm no fool. A lot of you out there think you tough guys. I'm a peaceful man. I train in the gym, and I train heavy. I train for combat. But I'm not out there trying to flex or see who's got the biggest dick or who's got the biggest muscles, any of that nonsense. Again, I'm a peaceful man, but I'm a quiet storm. I wish you all well. I wish you wheels. Keep your eye on the sparrow. And keep your mind's eye wide open. Mind your mind. This is Mosiah. Be well. Be blessed. I'm out.